very warm welcome to all of you watching here. As you can see that we have got a whole plethora of honorable vivid colors of dignitaries here. And as we start off with our first episode, our first podcast for our school, Mahaveer Public School, I would like to tell you all about the special occasion that led us to think about starting this one. So we are completing 30 years of our institution in this field of education. Very good. It's been a long journey, and obviously, we can say that in this long journey, we've got lessons and we've got lots and lots of fruits too. So, what better way could have we been celebrating Women's Day also and this feat also than having a panel of such living legends in the field of education? They are the live examples of women empowerment. They have broken glass ceilings. They do not believe in stepping into someone else's made and to fit into someone else's made glass slippers, but they believe in making new horizons and breaking new ceilings. They are the ones who have chosen unconventional paths, and they are the ones who inspire and motivate us. Though none of them requires an introduction, most of you know them all, but still, to get to the context, let me start with the introduction of Nihali Jain ma'am. She is a well-known veteran in the field of education industry. She's a highly accomplished professional. She's the director at Vidyashram Group of Schools of Jodhpur since 2014 and holds a degree in MA and a bachelor's degree in education. She is the winner of prestigious Royal Rajasthan and Rajasthan Personality Award in Miss Tiara 2015, as I can see with the grace and poise. Now she extends her expertise to being a professional jollyphonics trainer of India. And something I loved about you, ma'am, that she is a voracious reader. She has read 3,000 books, in fact, over 3,000 books until now. What a remarkable feat. And she aims to become the fastest vocabulary learner from the dictionary. This definitely reflects her dedication to intellectual changes, aiming for a Guinness Book of World Record. We wish you all the very best for that, ma'am. We have sitting in pretty pink the pretty Abhilasha ma'am, who is currently the vice principal of DPS Pal Road, Jodhpur, and she has the only word I feel would be fit for her is a multifaceted genius. I was going through her profile, wherein she has not only excelled in academics and not only topped her schools in class 12, not only ranked second in MA English Literature, but also beholded a gold medal while she was pursuing a B.Ed. Now, it's not just about being genius in academics. If I talk about her literary participation, she's been a great debater, which we'll soon find out. एंड अभी बोलो कि सिर्फ पढ़ाई पढ़ाई रही है क्या या फिर सिर्फ एक नर्ड टाइप की रही होंगी क्या ये नहीं ऐसा नहीं है शी हैज अ ग्रेट अक्यूमेन इन सोलो सिंगिंग ऑल्सो एंड नॉट जस्ट दिस शो क्या कहते हैं पिक्चर अभी खत्म नहीं हुई है शी लव्स टू प्ले स्पोर्ट्स एंड हैज रिप्रेजेंटेड her school KVS and volleyball in the regional level tournament also. Beyond this, she also plays badminton, carom, and what more should I tell you about her? She's got a amazing. I am just so honored to have you here, ma'am. Thank you so much. And last but not the least, I have right in front of me my source of inspiration, my very respected principal, ma'am, Mrs. Swati Mehta. I truly adore and I truly get inspired from her for the way she has been, her poised personality, and the way she shows that action speaks louder than words. She's a maths jargon. We have like Metri and Gargi as maybe an incarnation and form of her. She's a gold medalist. She's a B.Ed topper of her university. And I can go on and on about her. I have no further words, and without further ado, ma'am, today is about celebrating your success. Today is about celebrating your womanhood. And today is about celebrating you all. Let us start from you, Nihali, ma'am. What do you think is your biggest achievement until now?
For me, biggest achievement is being a woman. That's what I felt when, for the first time, when I realized that I, as a person who always have been into reading and into people that we talk about, right? I understood that being a woman is a special gift by the God. And He has always portrayed some little part of blessing on us and says that, all right, if you are a woman, you are there to do something. You are there to break the ceilings. You are there to do some beautiful work that everybody appreciates. And that's why for me, it's very, very big achievement being a woman and being a housewife also at the same time and being a director of the school, which
क्या बात
really
है,
makes me about it.
क्या बात है, क्या
Thank
बात
you.
है। अभिलाषा मैम, आपको क्या लगता है कि आपके परिवार वाले आपके किस अचीवमेंट पर सबसे ज्यादा गर्व करते होंगे?
Sneha, my family members actually see me as a caretaker. They see me as a teacher. They see me as their financial manager and whatnot. The list is pretty long. They feel that their mother is able to, do something which is worthwhile, educate people, because I feel connected with my children. It's not only my own biological children, but the children of the school. And that had been my philosophy. So, rising from being a mother teacher for nursery and primary and KG kids to being a middle school teacher to being a teacher of the teenagers, that is adolescent, and now handling a team of over and above 160 teachers.
कमेंडेबल, कमेंडेबल। स्वाति मैम, मैं तो जानती हूँ, लेकिन आई वुड लाइक एवरीवन वाचिंग आल्सो टू नो दिस फैक्ट अबाउट यू। इसलिए मेरे तरफ से आपको पहला प्रश्न ये है कि शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई मैम?
और मी नमस्कार सभी देखने वालों को और सुनने वालों को। See, generally we have noticed in our society that one woman is not helping the others. But in my case, whether it is my mother, if I say about my sister or my mother-in-law, they all have supported me a lot, and for this reason, I'm here today in front of you. So, my journey started when I was taking care of my kids, those who were that time in third, fourth, and my sister. She just asked me, Didi, you are good with maths, why don't you do something for your means others, for the society? And I just refused her. I cannot leave my kids, I cannot leave my home. But then the second, my mother-in-law, she forced me a lot. You don't worry about your kids. We will take care, but you have that thing. So go and work. So I'm very thankful to all these. And my first principal here in this school, Ma'am Rao, she made me or her contribution in my life, I cannot forget that. So this is all
मैंने
about the
अक्सर
journey.
लोगों को कहते सुना है कि चार महिलाएं जब इकट्ठी होती है तो वो चुगली ही कर रही होंगी, और जोधपुर की भाषा में बोले तो कुछ ना कुछ पंचायती हो रही होगी। लेकिन आज जब इतने एक इस पैनल को हम देखते हैं, इतने ऑनरेबल, इतने लर्नड, तो आई थिंक आज हम ये परसेप्शन पूरा बदलने वाले हैं। अभिलाषा मैम, हम उस देश में रहते हैं जहाँ गार्गी, मैत्रेयी, लोपामुद्रा ये सब इतनी लर्नड लेडीज थी, जहाँ पे हमको अगर विजडम मांगना है तो हम माँ सरस्वती की पूजा करते हैं, अगर हमें पैसा चाहिए तो हम कहते हैं कि लक्ष्मी माता आएंगी, लक्ष्मी माता की कृपा होगी तब होगा। हम उस युग में भी रहे हैं, हमारे पूर्वज रहे होंगे जहाँ महिलाओं को इतना अधिकार था कि वो अपने लिए अपना जीवन साथी खुद चुने, स्वयंवर करें, जहाँ महिलाओं ने, कितनी महिलाओं ने राज्यों पर नियंत्रण भी किया है, वो रूलर्स रही हैं, सक्सेसफुल रही हैं। बहुत सारे के बारे में तो सुना हुआ भी होगा, रानी की झांसी, और बहुत लोगों के बारे में मैं बताऊंगी भी आगे जब हम चलेंगे तो। एक अगर बच्चे देख रहे हैं इसे तो नागकटी रानी के बारे में जरूर पढ़िएगा, आपको पढ़ के बहुत मजा आएगा, कम बात की जाती है उनसे। तो ऐसे देश में जहाँ महिलाओं को इतने उच्च स्थान पर रखा गया है, कहाँ जरूरत पड़ गई वुमेन्स डे सेलिब्रेट करने की?
देखिए, विमेंस डे सेलिब्रेशन, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग, आई इट स्टार्टेड समवेयर इन द 1900s.
Yes.
And that's where it cropped up. It started in US, and there was some conflict that happened between people, and women wanted to, uh, be at par with men. How? Whether it be their paybacks or their responsibilities, or the work, the sharing of workload and things like that. Because if you would believe it, Sneha, there are about 320 million hours of work that is put up by women who are homemakers, and they are unpaid.
Yes,
Isn't
absolutely.
it?
Absolutely.
So when we talk about a parity,
Mm.
we have to talk about these things, equity,
Mm.
security, and dignity. So when you consider these three things, I think it was right. It was a right step at that point in time for women to take, and now it has become a day to celebrate. But I still feel that every day is Women's Day. Why do
True,
we
why?
need a tag to celebrate Women's Day? Yes, you honor your wives, you honor your sisters, you honor your maids at home. Those who come, you have to be compassionate about them. So it's about being sensitive. There is dignity of labor everywhere.
True. True.
So for all of us, every day is Women's Day. Every day we are going out, we are working, we are talking to people, we are disposing our whatever responsibilities that we own up, and we are accountable for a few things. So every day is a celebration for us.
What you said, I have a data related to that. They say that women produce half of the world's food but own only 1% of its land. They also say that women account for two-thirds of world's working hours but earn only 10% of the world income.
That's what I was telling you. Yes.
So that says that we are potentially the most capable resources but unexplored.
Certainly.
है ना? And very non-gratified sort of thing. Nihali ma'am, what do you think about financial independence of women? How important is it?
Yeah, if we talk about financial independence, the word finance, basically, when we talk about this particular word, everybody has a view of having a patriarchal hierarchy. Whereas finance, when you started, right, you started about a mathematics jargon. Just think about it.
Yes.
Just think about it that when you talk about maths, why are we relating that word or a subject with a gender? Wherever we go, we have to be so very biased and unbiased at the same time, understanding that maths is not gender biased. Every person who is a living being and a human, right, needs to understand that mathematics comes into everyday life. And when you talk about everyday life, you are talking about accounts, you're talking about savings, you're talking about maybe spending, your income, your profits and loss. So, women, if we talk financial independence, they actually do not deserve it, but they should have it. They have it everything. It also depends upon how well they understand their home finance, okay, the workplace finance, as well as the one which they have got it as a pocket money, and then they use it for them, for parents, for their children, etc. So I would like to quote something which when I was doing this workshop as a learner, I learned that make 5 envelopes, all right, and whatever money you earn, right, put it or distribute it equally into these 5 envelopes. And those 5 envelopes must be named very well. And those names should be one envelope is a self. Use it on your own self.
Which is very necessary.
Use it on your own self. Second is for your family, of course. Third is for your savings. The fourth one is for emergencies. If you require some emergency which has come up, just save it. Keep it very apart envelope. Just touch it and use it only when required. And the fifth one is for donation. So please put in all these envelopes together every day, and whatever packages you all deal with, put it into it and just enjoy the independence that you get after it.
स्वाति मैम आपसे ही इस बारे में और आगे पूछना चाहूंगी मैम, बाय व्हाट एज डू यू थिंक दैट गर्ल्स वुमेन फॉर दैट मैटर व्हाई नॉट बॉयज आल्सो शुड स्टार्ट हैंडलिंग देयर finances on their own?
See, I think the first here comes the parents' role. Parents should inculcate this kind of habits in the student, and they should tell them whether it is a 1 rupee, 5 rupee, 10 rupees, but they should know to how to do the savings. And yes, when we see in the foreign countries, they start doing their for their pocket money. They start working whether it is a work of a salesman or anything. So yes, around I can say when the child is around 13 or 14 years, he or she should start saving, whether it is 5 rupees or 500 rupees. Because see, now the generation has changed. Parents are not like that. When they are demanding, then only they are giving money to the kids. They are now the parents are here. आपको ये चाहिए ये ले लीजिए, आपको ये चाहिए ये ले
मांगने
ले
से
लीजिए।
पहले मिल जाता है मैम
तो
आजकल।
उन्हें सब कुछ मिल रहा है, तो उनकी आदतें बिल्कुल नहीं है सेविंग की।
And to add to it, these days the bank policies are so liberal. You know, you can open an account under guardianship
Yes,
of,
yes,
a,
yes.
of a child, and then when the child becomes adult, you know, you hand over the account to that child, and then you see how much you have saved.
Certainly, and one thing what I think I have learned from my experience that everyone, whether you are a woman, you are a mother, you are a child, or anyone, everyone should have a PPF account, especially for children. In a future long run, it will really help you a lot. Moving forward, just imagine Abhilasha ma'am, एक दिन आप उठते हैं and you are all in your morning beauty and you are told a PA just enters in, madam, what are your orders for today? You say what? And you are told कि मैम आप एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर बन गए हैं.
Oh my god! So what do you want me to do as as an
your
education
first
minister?
decision क्या होगा या फिर आप उस एक दिन में क्या क्या करना चाहेंगे?
I will be the first one to abolish the examination system.
Oh, students listening must be really happy.
An examination on day one. If the child is unwell, if the child is not prepared well, if there is some other exigency for the child, and the child is unable to write the paper well, you know, there and then the child is a loser. So
Correct.
don't evaluate a child on the basis of just a day's performance. It should be continuous, and let it be. It's not only continuous. Let it be progressive as well. And I think, if I am correct, CBSE has done reformations to it,
Yes.
by adding this national curriculum framework.
Hmm.
So now when the credits are are given, so I think that would make some impact, because these credits are for everything that the child does, whether the child studies in the school, at home, does a project, goes to the bank, goes to buy vegetables or whatever. All the activities are recorded and the child gets the credit.
Certainly. Nihali ma'am, don't you think that exams, like I would like to debate with Abhilasha ma'am here, exams are a way, you know, to build yourself as in to take up challenges in future, to face difficulties, to face pressures, because life is not always a bed of roses. आपको कभी ना कभी तो डेडलाइंस फॉलो करना ही पड़ेगा. आप कॉर्पोरेट में जाओगे या आप हाउसवाइफ बनती हो, आपको वो घड़ी के साथ चलना ही पड़ता है. डोंट यू थिंक बोथ ऑफ यू एंड मैम यू ऑल्सो कि कहीं ना कहीं ये एक प्रेशर की सीख हमें स्कूल लेवल पर देना जरूरी है?
Yeah, of course. See, when we talk about exams, what are you actually evaluating? Are you evaluating how the teacher has taught, or are you evaluating how the child has learned?
Very valid point.
Yes.
Because if you are evaluating something or assessing how the teacher has taught, then the teacher is supposed to give an exam and not the child, right? And if you are evaluating, okay, ठीक है, हम लेते हैं एग्जाम्स और हम देखना चाहते हैं कि मम्मी ने कितना पढ़ाया और बच्चे ने कितना याद रखा है, right? See, basically exams are just a mental notion to be given as a fear factor into the child, a parent and a teacher, all three if you talk as a pillar of the school. Why? Because they feel if you want to have a check on people doing work properly, give them an exam. And if you want a check to be done and with the report cards to be coming out, right? Why is it that the child is only being graded? Even the teacher at the same time has to be
I
graded.
agree.
Even the parent has to be graded. There should be a separate report card for a parent too. This is one. Secondly, what I feel is when you were asking something about, if one day you have the ministry in your hands, the first thing that has to come out of education system is rote memorization. What I believe is everywhere you have something wherein you just rote learn it, understand it, and just go and write your exams and
Yes,
give your
yes.
report card,
That's
and then you get your result and you're happy out there saying that, oh wow, I stood first and second and so on. Wherein, what if I'm not good in rote memory? Then how do you evaluate me? So exams are just a tool to judge a
So,
child.
ma'am, it means you want to say we should not have even the competitive exam, not the
No,
entrance
you should.
exams.
You should have, but every exam should be having a different way of evaluation. Every part, every aspect of the exam, basically, ma'am, should be assessed in a way where the child has to show every ability that he has. You cannot judge a fish actually by the way it swims at all,
Yes.
right? Or by the way it flies. Imagine how the child would be feeling.
And for that matter, I think to some extent,
Yeah.
CPSC has also been changing the pattern of their evaluation in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th also.
Yes.
Oh yes, they
But
are
some-
giving.
sorry,
Sorry,
huh?
they're
You
giving.
continue.
Those 2 attempts policy to the children. Probably soon it'll
Every
start.
6 months, yeah.
So if the child is unable to attempt well in the very first exam, the child has all the opportunity to appear in the second one and then take the best out of the two.
Cannot means fail any child up to class 8, that is taking out the habits of reading and writing of the students. Means they take the advantage of this, that yes, पास तो हम हो ही जाएंगे. इवन पेरेंट्स नो, तो वहां कहीं हमें लगता है कि बच्चों ने पढ़ना कम कर दिया है. तो वहां what you asked that और मैम का जो भी रहा, I believe कि 5th 6th 7th एक स्टैंडर्ड तक, as you say, CCE pattern can be followed, but after that for the senior classes, yes, because child has to learn the pressure अच्छा है positive way में लिया जाए तो प्रेशर क्योंकि लाइफ में उसको और बहुत चैलेंजेस आने वाले, तो उस चीज को डेवलप करने के लिए, उस हैबिट को डेवलप करने के लिए आई थिंक दैट एग्जाम्स होने ही चाहिए और इवन ये नो डिटेशन पॉलिसीज तो हट जानी चाहिए.
As a working woman, we all are working women here. There's a constant girl math going around in our mind. हम यहाँ पे साइन कर रहे हैं किसी की टीसी, या हम यहाँ पे किसी का न्यू अपॉइंटमेंट साइन कर रहे हैं, और वहां हमें लग रहा है कि आज हमारी मेड नहीं आई है, चीजें कैसे मैनेज होगी, आज बच्चे की तबीयत खराब है, आज इन लॉज के यहाँ पे कहीं पर जाना है, हाउ डू वी मैनेज ऑल ऑफ दैट, एंड व्हाट इज योर सजेशन टू द एस्पायरिंग वुमन?
God has gifted a woman with not only these two hands, but lot of hands. Means we are the multitasking woman. So only we have to balance the things, and that I think every woman has that. By God grace, we all have this thing in us that we know how to manage the things. So don't get disturbed, because things will happen around you, not only for your homemade or not for anyone has said anything to us how to deal with that. It will happen. Take that and just find out the ways how we can solve, rather than thinking on that कि ये क्यों हो गया, मेरे साथ ही क्यों हुआ, चलो आज वो नहीं आई तो अब मैं कैसे मैनेज करूं. And I know that nowadays in our society, although Indian society is male dominating society, but now it has changes we can see. We all are working.
Yeah,
So until and unless we have a support from our family, we cannot give our time to our
100%.
work. So yes, they also managing the things, and it is not necessary always the way you manage the things, it will happen always. Let your family members understand this thing that if mama is not there, if didi is not there, if bhabhi is not there, then also the things will happen and we have to see that. I just tell to my audience also the same thing. Things will happen, just try to manage with a patience.
And it is said, behind every successful
woman,
there's
there is a understanding
there is
man.
an understanding family and an
Actually, a
understanding
whole
Yes.
family, because if we are stepping out here
Yes.
and devoting so much of our time,
Lot of
100% they are managing a lot of things on our part.
Exactly. That's what.
Just taking the same question ahead, Abhinasha ma'am. Still today, we are living in a scenario where a girl's marriage is considered as the most important milestone of her life. एंड प्रैक्टिकल टर्म्स में देखें तो सही भी है, क्योंकि शादी के बाद अगर दूसरे घर जाना है, यू डू नॉट नो कि अगर आप अपनी ही सिटी में रहने वाले हो, आप बाहर जाने वाले हो, या क्या पता परदेश भी जाने वाले हो. सो ऑब्वियसली इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट टू चूज अ करियर फॉर अ वुमन, फॉर अ लेडी. तो कैसे देखते हैं फ्यूचर में आप? तो अब यहाँ पे ये भी हो जाता है कि शादी के प्रेशर में कई बार कुछ सपने दब जाते हैं. कैसे मैनेज करें इस टसल को?
I'll tell you how, because okay, fine, every body has a particular cycle. When we know that that's teenage, and now the institution of marriage is also important because that's the need of the society. uh, by that token, if a woman is an aspirant, is an aspiring woman, is ambitious, can do whatever she wants to wherever she goes.
Absolutely.
So
Agreed.
it can never be a challenge in a woman's life. And when you're saying that women are multitasking, they have that superpower, that they have that special power in them, that they can do anything anywhere. So they can make a heaven out of a hell as well.
And if you give us hell, we can give you hell as well.
Well, that should not be the philosophy. We are fairer sex, and you have to understand, the struggles that a female will face. So you get married, you get settled, but if you're ambitious, I think you will
Nobody can
leave
stop.
no stone unturned in
Absolutely.
fulfilling your ambition.
So basically, we should not blame our choices upon circumstances. We are choosing not to fight. We are choosing not to convince our family members. We are choosing just to subside. And we are choosing the normal conventions over our dreams, right? When we are taking such a step.
Yeah, so that's
Huh.
our choice.
That's our choice.
Because we
Huh.
don't want any kind of chaos
Yes.
in the family. We don't want any kind of fights happening. in the
शांति
family.
चाहिए. हाँ.
बिल्कुल शांति प्रिय होती है.
बस,
Females
बस.
are mostly peace
Somewhere
loving.
here the roles of in-laws
In-laws.
also play.
Yes.
Yes. They have to understand this thing. The way they treat their son, they should welcome, and they should treat their daughter-in-law.
Agreed, and a welcome change we are seeing in the society also
Yes.
these days. हालांकि और अंदर रूरल एरियाज में जाएंगे तो आई थिंक अभी बहुत कुछ बदलना बाकी है.
I would like to share one thing with you all. Recently, my son got married, and they both shifted to Jaipur. They both are working, right? So on this last Saturday only, generally I used to say कि on Saturday, Sunday, at least you should go to the kitchen, you should cook something. So on this Saturday, I asked him, कि what you have to. I asked my son, बोले नो मम्मा, आज तो शिवांगी नहीं बनाया. मैंने कहा now it is your turn in the evening, you have to cook. So why I'm giving this example means we only train our son,
exactly.
train our
Yes,
society
yes.
that
The way
yes,
we-
you both
yes.
are equal.
Exactly. The way we are training our daughters, our sons should also be taught,
Yes.
because cooking is a life skill.
Hmm.
And if you have
it
to
is
go
not
somewhere, you have to move
survival.
somewhere.
Yeah.
You are all alone, whether it's a demand of your job or your family or whatever.
Yes.
You should know these basic skills.
Yes.
So it's a very good step. I would really appreciate that you asked your son about it.
Yes,
And,
because see,
that's-
it is not that you always ask that she is working now, she will come to home, she will cook food for you. Why? She is also earning the way you are earning.
But everybody in other countries cook. They never see a male cooking or a female cooking.
Exactly.
Everybody
Yes.
in other countries, so why not in India?
Everybody needs to eat, so everybody
And
needs
they
to
are.
cook.
These days we see men, we see boys, young boys going
Yes.
to US, and they start learning as a cooking courses they take, and they say that
especially after this COVID period.
yeah, they're learning. Everybody is doing their part.
And most of the famous head chefs are men.
Yes.
Here, we are blessed. In all the industries, we still see dominance of men all around,
Yeah.
be it in the kitchen and the top posts. But this education industry, I
Yes.
still think the women are ruling over this industry.
I would just like to quote one little thing. If you just spell the word female, right, you would be seeing the combination of both.
Good.
You would be
Yes.
seeing a combination of a female as in F,
Yes.
yeah, and you would be seeing a combination of male which completes the word female. Plus, if you see this, you see SHE is she, and if you don't have a he, you cannot make a she. So it's very important for both of them to understand that it's not only a woman who's going to appreciate the way she works, it's also the man behind a woman and the woman behind a man who actually appreciate, do, and work together.
हमारे तो भगवान भी अर्धनारीश्वर हैं.
Absolutely.
So moving forward, and this is a question I would like to ask my complete honored panel, because ये सबके लिए एक बहुत personal question है और मुझे लगता है ये सबसे बड़ा source of inspiration भी हो सकता है. So right now what we are seeing is an established, accomplished and successful woman. But I'm sure the ascendance to this level would never have been easy. They must have faced their own struggles. Ma'am, Nihali ma'am, I'll start with you. There must have been some points, there must have been some struggles which have stung you the most. They have given you most pain. They must have broken you into 100 pieces. But now at this point of time, maybe you realize that has what shaped you most. If you can remember such struggle of yours.
Yeah, sure. I would name my struggle as a challenge.
Okay.
I started, maybe I would say something like that because I'm not from this city. I belong to a metro city, Mumbai. And when I one fine day after my marriage had to shift to Jodhpur and had to work as well because I cannot stop. I used to take work as in if I breathe, I work. So here was a struggle that I came and made it into a challenge because I come from Mumbai, I hail from a city which is very forward, they have a very different sort of lifestyle. And here in Jodhpur, you need to be a little traditional, talk while you are very, very, wanting it to only and otherwise not. So, understanding my teachers, doing a job under a school and understanding the pattern of teaching, plus making the whole school work according to what we want teachers, children, parents working for each other. It was a challenge basically, which took me as a struggle because in the beginning, it was very difficult for me to settle down in Jodhpur. But slowly I understood that my Janma Bhumi and Karma Bhumi, both of them have to be separate. And when I understood this little part, the whole thing started falling into own place. I understood that people are here because I'm here, and because I'm here, people are here. So let's understand their language. So I learned Marwadi. I learned lots of things. I being a Gujarati person hailing from a Gujarati family, though I studied abroad in London for 4 years, I couldn't understand how to come out of that situation and get myself in. So people used to tease me, they used to talk about me a lot, but that made me even more stronger. Made me said that, yeah, there is something which you need to change. You cannot wear the same Mumbai coat and talk about Jodhpur people or be into their families and talk about things which is not right or good. So this is what I understood, and the struggle was beautiful. Today, whatever I am, it's only because of the Jodhpurites, because of the parents that I'm meeting each day, all because of my children that I'm always connected to.
I will just, it was a beautifully articulated and described struggle and how you overcame that.
Yeah.
But here, since you hail from some outside city, I would like to also give an info and heads up. I am a out and out Jodhpuri. हम लोग बहुत मीठा खाते हैं और उतना ही तीखा भी खाते हैं. और यहाँ इशारा हो रहा है कि कॉफी आ गई है और चाय. आई थिंक अभिलाषा मैम, आप शायद चाय की शौकीन है. निहाली मैम, आप
Yeah, I take anything, whatever.
Yes,
is.
exactly.
और स्वाति मैम को
Any
भी
more
बताएगी
coffee?
So let's have a coffee tea break and then meet you again. और मैं शुरुआत जोधपुरी होने से ही करूँ. So we are charged up with our tea and coffee, and as I promised Nihali ma'am, that we'll start off our conversation with being Jodhpurite. So I am a typical Jodhpurite. मैं डाबा चुप भी बहुत होती हूँ. मेरी गली में गाय भेटी भी बहुत मारती है और मुझे मीठा भी उतना ही पसंद है और हम वो लोग हैं जहाँ पे हम लोग डिजर्ट नहीं खाते. हमें थाली पुरसने से पहले मीठा चाहिए होता है एंड इक्वली हमें तीखा भी चाहिए होता है. एंड जोधपुर आई गेस इज द ओनली सिटी जहाँ पे कचौरी मीठी खाई जाती है और गुलाब जामुन की रिच सब्जी बनाई जाती है.
Yes.
विच आई
जोधपुर में मीठा बोला भी जाता है.
हमको किसी को ऐसे हार्श वर्ड्स में भी कहना होगा तो हम कहेंगे आप पधारो सा
Yes.
लगा के कहेंगे.
Yeah, of course.
So, coming back to your most defining struggles, Abhilasha ma'am, I would like to hear from you.
Okay, so my struggle again, it dates back to from where I thought of choosing my profession.
Okay.
So at the first place, because I hail from a family of teachers and doctors. बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ाई का environment, books everywhere and library, one room converted into a big library and things like that. So I thought, it's in my genes. But still, however, I wanted to try a different profession. So there it started. I wanted to be a fashion designer, wherein my parents wanted me to be a teacher.
Oh.
So I said, okay, fine, let's, debate and discuss and then sort it out. So finally, I was doing what I wanted to, and all of a sudden, my father had filled this form for B.Ed. Now I got selected in PTET and I got my college and things like that. And can you imagine? My admission did not take place when it was supposed to take place, and it was a delayed admission because of the subject choices. Like I had psychology, sociology, and English literature in my. So the colleges were not giving me social science as my practice teaching subject. Because in B.Ed you need to have two practice teaching subjects. So that was a struggle, and that was again a debate with the authorities in the board and the university and things like that. Anyway, I got admission into my B.Ed college 4 years after the session started. Now you can imagine. 4 months after the admission. One practice teaching session had already taken place. I had no clue about it. Nobody knew. Everybody thought that I am the candidate of the third or the fourth list. Whereas, ironically, I was the candidate of the first list. So, anyway, I coped up with everything. I had to go to the hostel and study, and I had to make my way through for double practice teaching. I was taking English as well as social science together. And by the end of it, I was so tired. I said, Daddy, why did you put me in B.Ed? I never wanted to do this, but anyway. One fine day when the result was declared, I was absolutely confident about what I did. And as soon as the result was announced, I was elated, fine. And the principal called me. She said, Abhilasha, do you know you have topped the university? I said, what? I can't believe it. Said, yes. Now you come and receive your medal. So that was my overcoming of, the apprehension and the struggle that I had. Post that, once I joined the profession, I had all very good mentors around me. So there are godfathers in profession. So I had perfect mentors for me, and the perfection that they gave me, I'm so proud of that today. Every small nitty-gritty, every small mistake and error, every small anomaly was told to me, and that's the reason why now when I am at work at my desk, I look for all such nitty-gritties and look for that perfection that they looked for when I was under.
And what you said कि भगवान की मूर्ति भी नुकीले पत्थर की मार सहे बिना नहीं मिलती है. को भी वो कांस्टेंट हिटिंग एंड हैमरिंग चाहिए होती है. स्वाति मैम, आप बताएं.
Yes, as you are asking what are the challenges and how you came up from that. So for me, my challenge was my family, my kids, because I was not able to separate them from me, that I wanted every time they should be with me when they were around 10, 12 years.
वो गिल्ट रहता है कि
हाँ.
मेरे बच्चों को मुझे सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत
है
मैं
मेरे
नहीं
घर
हूँ
को,
उनके लिए.
मेरे घर को
हम्म.
मेरी
हाँ,
बहुत जरूरत है.
हाँ.
मेरे बिना शायद घर
नहीं
चलेगा ही नहीं.
हाँ.
मेरे बच्चों का क्या होगा? That's all. So when I joined this school, here I would like to mention that the school started in 2004 in the month of April, and since that day I am here in this school. So जब join किया, so the same day I told to my in-laws and even to my husband कि I will not do this work. I cannot. वहाँ स्कूल में मुझे घर ही याद आ रहा था पूरे टाइम. मैं नहीं कर सकती ये जॉब. But then later on they supported me a lot. हाँ, मुझे मेरे बच्चों की पढ़ाई की चिंता थी, और जब मैंने देखा दे आर कमिंग अप विद गुड रिजल्ट्स, टॉपिंग देयर क्लासेस, सो फिर एक विश्वास हुआ. हियर अगेन माय फैमिली हैज सपोर्टेड मी अ लॉट, एंड जिनकी चिंता थी, जो एक मेरे लिए स्ट्रगल था, मेरे बच्चों का प्यार मेरे लिए या मेरे प्यार उनके लिए, उसने ही मुझे इस राह पे आगे बढ़ाया.
क्या बात है. जो हमारी सब वीकनेस होती है वही हमारी सबसे बड़ी स्ट्रेंथ भी होती है. तो थोड़ा सा लाइटन अप करते हैं और टेम्परामेंट हम लोग चेंज करते हैं, लेकिन उसके बाद ये जो राउंड अभी हम खेलेंगे उसके बाद मैं एक थोड़ा सा सेंसिटिव कह दो, कंट्रोवर्शियल तो नहीं कहना चाहूंगी, लेकिन एक रिलेटेबल टॉपिक पर हम लोग बात करेंगे. उससे पहले सुरभि, कैन यू प्लीज हैंड मी ओवर दोज कभी हाँ कभी ना हम खेल रहे हैं. ओके, तो अभी हमारा राउंड है कभी हाँ कभी ना. हमारे सभी गेस्ट के पास में ये हाँ और ना, यस और नो वाले पैम्पलेट्स हैं. बहुत सिंपल क्वेश्चंस पूछूंगी आप लोगों से. अगर आपने कभी ये काम किया है जो मैंने बोला तो आपको यस दिखाना है, आपने नहीं किया तो आपको नो दिखाना है. उससे रिलेटेड आपको कुछ याद आ रहा है तो आप बता सकते हैं. So let's start. My first question: have you ever blocked your relative or a friend on social media? Yes, yes. No? आप बहुत हिम्मत वाले हैं.
Yes.
और स्वाति मैम और अभिलाषा मैम के रिलेटिव जरा ध्यान से देखें और आज जाके सारे अकाउंट्स चेक करें. Have you ever pretended to laugh at a joke? हंसी नहीं आ रही थी लेकिन हंसना पड़ा.
Yes.
Never.
To make happy someone else.
Okay. Have you ever re-gifted something? वो सोन पापड़ी आपने कभी किसी के साथ प्ले किया है? किसी का मिला गिफ्ट किसी को आगे दिया है?
I never like to re-gift anything in my life because I feel gift is for me, not for someone else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I have a sweet tooth, so I never did that. But now I've stopped taking sweets.
Have you ever cried in someone else's wedding?
Oh, many a times. Lots of times.
Lots of times.
मतलब
Lots of times.
मैं ही शायद अलग होंगी यहाँ पे, मुझे रोना बड़ा मुश्किल से आता है.
Women are very emotional.
Sensitive.
Especially when we see the Vidai ceremony happening, it reminds us of us.
हाँ. मेरा टीयर टैंक चालू हुआ था आफ्टर आई हैड माई चिल्ड्रन. उस वक्त से, उससे पहले तो मुझे मतलब मुझे दुख होता था, तकलीफ होती थी, लेकिन रोना नहीं आता था. सो आई एम डिफरेंट मे बी फ्रॉम हियर. कभी किसी की झूठी तारीफ की है?
डिप्लोमेटिक वे में.
डिप्लोमेटिक वे में. एज एन एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर, डांटना किसी और को था लेकिन डांट किसी और को दिया.
That might happen accidentally, yes. But then if you realize your mistake, you can take that onus and you should have the courage to rectify it and apologize.
Okay, अभी सपोज मैसेज किसी और ग्रुप में भेजना था, पर्सनल था, और कहीं और गलती से भेज दिया. रॉन्ग मैसेज इन रॉन्ग विंडो. कभी किया है ऐसा? Was it embarrassing sometimes?
I have never done that, so I do not know how
Because
does it
after
look like.
sending message again we we have this habit of checking whether it has
Exactly.
been sent in the
और कैसा हो
Correct.
अगर वो डिलीट फॉर मी डिलीट फॉर एवरीवन के बजाय डिलीट फॉर मी हो जाए फिर तो
See, abhi to you have that feature in WhatsApp that you can, delete messages from every end. Earlier, it never used to be there. So if you're passing on some instruction, you're passing it to say the group of maths teachers, and it goes into English
हाँ,
department.
English department.
So then it's a blunder.
और फिर टीचर्स को भी मजा आता है कि चलो
और
कहीं मैम ने भी
then
गलती
it
की
will happen कि वैसे कोई reply नहीं करेगा, but if you have sent a wrong message, all will
Exactly.
sending the message.
Okay, I do not know whether you would like to answer for this one or not. Have you ever tried to control your yawn during assembly? Be yawning.
During
No,
assembly is that
assembly
हाँ.
में तो नहीं हुआ
Never.
assembly mein never.
Mornings are
Never.
so happening.
Mornings are happening.
In office it might.
कभी किसी बच्चे को बिना वार्निंग दिए मतलब डांट पड़नी चाहिए थी लेकिन छोड़ दिया उसे मे बी बिकॉज इनोसेंट लग रहा था या जिस तरह से उसने सॉरी बोला
Many times, but I never scold any child in my life.
Okay, now next two questions are a cliche which are considered for women. जब भी लड़की कोई ड्राइव कर रही होती है ना so have you ever done that कि गलत इंडिकेटर दे दिया है और उल्टी जगह पे मुड़ गए
I don't know driving.
Even I. Why I stopped? Because it happens when I learned the driving and I was driving a car instead of brake, my
accelerator
was on
push.
acceleration. So I have installed that.
So driving is my passion, and I would never do it, and I would even crib if somebody else does it.
Same here and I myself am a pretty good driver that what I think for myself सड़क पे चलने वाले लोग क्या सोच रहे हैं वो अभी मुझे नहीं पता okay so are you a principal or an administrator at home also or you have a different face
No.
Family people say me this, but I don't believe that. I have a different look.
And I have a completely different aspect. I never, even people tell me that, do you think you're really a director of a school? Oh my God, you don't look like one.
okay
My
last
family has already drawn boundaries. Okay, you're principal at school, not at home.
यहाँ मत दिखाना
And
अपनी
I
ये
get the same
Same
vibe.
vibe, isn't it?
Absolutely.
और for that matter mother से सबसे बड़ा sarcasm फेंकती है हमें
Exactly.
okay last question have you ever reached to a wrong venue किसी और की शादी या wrong invitation
Yes.
It did happen.
Never
Maybe
will
not
happen.
my fault, but हाँ.
लिफाफा लेकर तो नहीं आ गए थे
But we could not, get into it because we knew that this was a place. So again, change rules.
तब जब तक लिफाफा नहीं दो तब तक सब चलता है
Exactly.
right so thank you so much for being so sportive about this round we wind this up
Thank you.
here
Like your
कभी हाँ,
questions.
कभी ना. Okay, so starting off again with the next round, which is a rapid fire round. And मैम आप लोगों से बस हम लोग मैं एक एक शब्द बोलूंगी तो आपके मन में जो भी आता है उस वक्त पे वो आपको बोलना है. Let us start from Swati ma'am. Swati ma'am, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. Exam.
Pressure.
Success.
Me.
Favorite spot in Jodhpur.
Kabaddi.
Fear.
Never.
Best friend.
Books.
Mobile.
Addict.
Hindi.
Like this language.
Vidya.
पूजनीय.
Food.
सांभर.
Wow. I love South Indian too. And लोग तो मुझे कहते हैं मैं तो दिखती भी South Indian
True.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very sportive of you. Abhilasha, ma'am. Let's start. Chocolate.
Loved it.
Bhagwan.
Once upon a time.
Oh, you stopped eating it
Yes.
now. Bhagwan.
Prayers.
Ma.
Speechless.
Very well relatable. Trending.
Fashion.
English.
My first love.
Flying chappal.
Never got one.
Are you regretting that?
Not at all.
Are the people around you regretting that?
Not at all.
I am sure, not at all. You're such an able administrator. Strength.
My positivity.
Weakness.
My family.
Woman.
My strength.
क्या बात है. Very well played. Thank you so much, Abhilasha ma'am. Nihali, ma'am, your turn. 3, 2, 1. Artificial intelligence.
It's the need of an hour.
Favorite movie?
DDLJ.
Oh, I
Still, it
support
is
you on
running
that.
in one
My
of
favorite
your
And one of my best favorite, I would say, topmost favorite. I've watched more than 100 times.
Ambani wedding.
Oh, that is a wonder. I'm scrolling it every day.
Dream destination.
Switzerland.
Horror.
Not for me.
Oh. Cinderella.
Glass slippers. The Wonder Woman and glass slippers.
Hmm. Sanskar.
My father and my mother.
क्या बात है? Technology.
That's what I define myself as now.
Okay. Money.
Want, but do not. Too much.
Not too much. Okay, that is so modest of you to say
Yeah.
that. Thank you so much. We loved having you all here. I would just request a 30-second closing note from all of you.
Really, it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful to both of these ladies that
And
we
we are
have
thankful to you.
shared.
Ma'am, also, I would like you to give some note of motivation to whoever is watching or listening us
Yes,
right now.
especially as we
As a
you are
woman.
doing on the Women's Day. So yes, all the females, my message is have trust on yourself, be courageous, and whatever you are doing, if it is ethically, logically correct, then do it. Otherwise, no one is there to stop you to do what you wish. Thank you, and thank you, Sneha ma'am.
Wonderful.
Wonderfully, you have asked questions.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yes.
Thank you.
I would really appreciate this initiative, Sneha and ma'am, by calling us here and having this session. It's enlightening and insightful. And for the women watching from there, you have to remember just one thing: you have the world within you, and you are the world for everyone. So happy Women's Day. Enjoy this day. Be empowered. Be enlightened, and you have your way out.
And
Thank you so
empower the
much.
people around you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Neha ma'am. Thank you so very much, Swati ma'am and Kanungo ma'am too. Please give her my regards. It was a wonderful session that I've enjoyed and experienced a lot. And I would like to say and end up by adding on a note that you are what you repeatedly do. So, if you want to be something in life, think about your habits, think about what you really dream of, and set goals. Because until and unless you do not have goals in life, I would speak something which is very gender biased. Just think, imagine, visualize, manifest, and you become a go getter. So think about what you want to do and form a habit of everything. Plus, don't stop reading and don't stop enjoying whatever is your hobby. Please inculcate the habit and keep doing what you like in life. So there is no stop.
Since I'm an educator to all of those, so I'm very much habituated to give homeworks.
Thank you.
So एपिसोड को वाइंड अप करते हैं एक होमवर्क के साथ में। मैं कुछ महिलाओं के नाम लूंगी, उनमें से कितनी महिलाओं के नाम आपने सुने हैं, कितनों के बारे में आप जानते हैं और कितनी महिलाओं के नाम आपने पहली बार सुने हैं, वो आप कहीं भी जहां भी आप ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं वहां कमेंट करके हमें बताइएगा। और बच्चे जो देख रहे हैं वो स्पेशली नोट कर लेना, इन सब के बारे में पता करके आना कि कौन है ये सब। गार्गी, मैत्रेय, प्रिंसेस हेमलेखा, प्रिंसेस चुड़ाला, श्री शारदा देवी, भैरवी ये रामकृष्ण परमहंस की गुरु थी, क्वीन हैटशेपर्ड, क्वीन आर्मेनियास, एम्प्रेस वुजेटिन। एग्जाम मैं आपको थोड़ा सा हिंट दे देती हूँ, शी वाज द ओनली फीमेल एम्प्रेस ऑफ चाइना। सर्च अबाउट क्वीन बोडिका, शी वाज एन एम्प्रेस फ्रॉम ब्रिटेन। सर्च अबाउट क्वीन सोंडोग, आई एम सीइंग दैट कोरिया के अभी बहुत फैंस हो रहे हैं कोरियन चीजों के। शी वाज अ क्वीन हेलिंग फ्रॉम कोरिया।
Thank you.
Truly has been a very enriching session, and I have got a lot of takeaways from being, sharing the stage with all of these personalities in itself is an honor for me. Thank you so much for being here.